Good morning and welcome back to the channel, and a beautiful summer's day here in England. So if you're looking to build your fitness and you think you've got a pretty good base of fitness and you've done a lot of longer miles and you're ready to build that peak, how can you go about it? Well, if you look on things like Trainer Road or Zwift or Wahoo, there are hundreds of workouts and plans to choose from, and it can seem a bit bewildering, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Watch the video to find out 3 simple workouts you can do to really build your fitness. So to build fitness, you need to have a good base, as I said, and do a lot of easy riding. And after you've done that, you really need to start working on the higher end. That's threshold and above. And threshold's what you could sort of do flat out for an hour, maybe 3/4 of an hour if you can. So basically, workout number 1 are threshold intervals, or threshold and slightly above. 3 by 8 minutes. So you go out, get a good warm up, and you do an 8-minute effort around that same pace as you could hold for an hour. So pretty hard, maybe just slightly above it. If you've got a power meter, that's sort of like 100, 105, 110% maybe of your threshold. Once you've done that, 8 minutes, you have 4 minutes off, and do that 3 times. So 3 by 8 minutes. The nice thing about this workout is it's really easy to extend it. As you get fitter, you could do 4 by 8 minutes, or you could do 3 by 10s, and gradually build up the amount you're working at that threshold effort. And like I said, if you've got a power meter, maybe around 100, 105% of threshold. And if you haven't, it's that hard but sort of sustainable climbing power maybe, and keep that going for those 8 minutes. Try to keep it nice and steady. The next thing you want to work at is your VO2, the maximum amount of oxygen you can uptake. And you can do that working on 3-minute efforts, but this time they're harder. 110, maybe up to 120% of your FTP, or pretty much flat out for those 2 or 3 minutes. So starting off with 2 by 3s, building up to 3 by 3 minute efforts, so 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. Do 3 of those, that's 1 set. Have a break of 10 minutes or so, and then another set of 3 by 3s. And again, the nice thing about these is you don't really have to think about it. It's just go as hard as you can pretty much for the 3 minutes, but keeping it steady. So hopefully over the 3 minutes you have a similar sort of average power. You don't want to be dying in the middle of them. And you can build those up to be doing 4 by 3s, and maybe 3 sets of those with smaller breaks in between, like 2-minute breaks. So there's lots you can do, but it's a pretty simple workout when you don't need to think about much. You just go flat out. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to catch more stuff like this coming out on the channel soon. And workout number 3 are anaerobic efforts. And those are efforts where you're basically not using oxygen, you're just working flat out. And they're very short, very hard efforts. Let's have a look at those. Again, you don't need a power meter for these. They are just flat out efforts, and they're 1 minute long. So start off with 3 by 1 minute. So 1 minute on, 1 minute off, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, and so on. Have a 5-minute break, and if you can, try another 3. They're all out sprints for a minute, and yes, you will die at the end, but believe me, they really help build that peak fitness, especially for things like climbing up short hills when you're way above your threshold power. They're fantastic for those short, sharp efforts when you're on group rides. And again, the nice thing about them is that you can easily extend them. You could build up to 10 1 minute on, 1 minute off efforts, and maybe do a couple of sets of those. So again, nice and easy to remember, nice and easy to build, not nice and easy to do. Pretty horrible, in fact. You probably feel like throwing up after a set of those. But it will get you fitter. So how often should you do these? Probably once or twice a week. And when I'm saying these, I mean any of those workouts we talked about. Maybe I do 1 VO2 max session a week and 1 threshold, and then a lot of easy riding in between. Depends how much it depends how well you recover. The more you recover, the more you can do. But as you get older, probably a couple of hard efforts like that a week are more than enough. And a nice little bonus tip, if you have got a power meter or some way of measuring your success, like how far you've been getting up a climb, you can keep that and use your average of those intervals. So for example, your threshold intervals, whatever you manage to do for those 8 minutes, and use that average as a target for next time to either stick to or maybe improve on. The same with the VO2 max intervals. You could average your 3 or 4 efforts, whatever they are, see what the power is, and then see if you can improve that next time. Doing that's a great way to improve, because you've got your own personal target, but it's also great because you can see improvements, and you will notice improvements fairly shortly with these efforts. Within a few weeks, you'll be noticing improvements. So I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. I hope you give those workouts a go. Let me know how you get on in the comments below, or if there's anything you've used to get really fit and build peak fitness, drop those in the comments too. Until next time, bye for now.